You're listening to My Top 8, a relationship podcast about friendship. I'm your host, Maggie May Fish. Remember, the show does not condone ranking your friends in a list of 8 people. And now, let's talk friendship.
Oh, some friends go and some friends less. Some come talk on your podcast. If they make you laugh and they treat you great, then you put them on your top 8.
Welcome to My Top 8, the podcast about friendship. Today, I have a wonderful person. Hello, Erin Mallory Long.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing over there?
I'm doing great. It's good.
It's good. It's hot out. You're also, people can't see because obviously this is not a visual medium.
True.
But you're all the way on the other side of the table.
That is what I was reacting to. And I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, can you hear me from over there?
Like, hello.
Hello. Welcome to my apartment. How's it going? Okay.
That's the whole rest of the podcast is just that
Hello.
voice. Hello.
Oh boy.
That's good.
Well, it was funny. So when I was starting to think of guests for the show, viewers, I'll let you in a little on the backside. But yeah, I was thinking, like who would be great? Like who do I want to, talk with and get to know? And then on Facebook, I saw Mallory post a status that was like, I just connected with 2 friends and it was great. And I think friends are great, ? And I laughed out loud. I was like, well, duh. I'm going to ask Erin.
I've just been having this weird thing where like, I feel like I need to see people. And I don't often feel like that. I usually am a very like solitary person. I mean, like I live with my husband, so I see him all the time. But like, otherwise, I'm like
They
very,
don't count.
No, like I'm just like, well, you're fine.
Yeah.
But it's like, otherwise, it's just like I'm very fine being alone.
Yeah.
Like I'm fine spending all of my time by myself, and then I happen to see like 2 friends like a night and then the following morning who I hadn't seen in like a very long time. And I was just like, I love both of you. This is so great. Like, it's just kind of like a thing of like being like, oh, it's nice.
Yeah, it is nice. It's nice. And also, I don't know if you feel like this, but I feel like in LA, one, it's hard to find nice people. And so oftentimes it is easier to just like hang out with yourself.
Yeah.
Because you like yourself and that's great. And like, having an SO around.
Yes.
Kind of like.
And that's always helpful. Yeah. But it's like, because probably otherwise I'd probably be more social without. Yeah. Actually, I probably wouldn't. But like I moved to LA from New York, and a lot of my friends that I have in LA now are college friends, like friends of mine from college, because we all study film and TV, and then like we ended up in LA, and so it's like I still find that I have a lot of friendships that are just with people that I've known for years,
Right. Yeah.
and it is harder to like meet new people, and I think it's partly being an adult, and I think it's partly LA and like people that we encounter in our world and stuff, where it's like it's a lot of like facade.
Yeah, it's like, oh
friendships,
man, how long do I have to wait this out to find out if you're like a good person? Because like, I don't know, you say you're good, so I guess I have to wait to see if that's true.
Totally, but it's also like I meet a lot of people that I just know on the internet, and like I've had numerous situations where I've met someone off the internet and been like, oh, we don't get along in real life.
Yes. Yes. It's so weird because especially like you and I grew up with like the AIM, the MySpace, and that went from our actual friends that we would talk to online that we do see every day at school to people that we maybe have only met once or twice.
Totally.
And and to me, I definitely mix the two. It's like I feel like I know them, and then I find out that they're not at all that, and it's like, oh wait.
Yeah, it's just it's a very bizarre. It's a very bizarre thing, and then it's also like because we're in LA, there's also that thing of like someone. If I can tell that someone is trying to figure out if I can help them, I'm like, I shut down. Like, I'm like, whoa, we can't do this anymore. Like, I'm like, I can't be a part of this.
That's like your self-preservation going off and being like, let me shut all curtains.
I'm also just very emotionally unavailable, but it's like a self-protective like armor thing of like, oh no, I'm not into, like, I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, like I cannot entertain that for you.
No.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I was at a birthday party last night for, again, a friend from college who I've known forever. And it's like, I was thinking about how I don't typically go to people's birthday parties.
Yeah.
And it's either like I have something else going on or I just get so stressed at the idea of like, you invited all 900 of your Facebook friends who live in Los Angeles. 300 have said they're coming.
Right.
It doesn't matter if I show up.
Mallory, Erin, all of you, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
There are so many birthdays that I see and they come and pass, and I do like that person a lot.
Same.
It has nothing to do with them, but I think about going, and I think about all the people I'm gonna have to like talk to, and it's like, oh,
it's just, it gets so, I mean, I also have a high degree of anxiety in general.
Yes.
But it's like, it becomes a thing where it's like, if I don't have like an ally at an event of like someone who I already know that I'm comfortable with, like one-on-one, like then going to something like that where it is just to see of like, well, what projects have you been up to? Oh, you're working on this? Like, I'm like, I can't do it.
It's like, I guarantee you don't want to hear about my feature about King Louis' anal fistula. Like, no one wants to hear about it. And as soon as you ask me, you're gonna regret it. And like, that's my internal monologue. It's like, you don't actually want to know.
No, like, you don't want to know. It's okay. Well, and I always do the opposite thing, which I did earlier when you were like, how to introduce you, like where I'm like, oh, I don't do anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I'm always just like, I'm not up to anything.
Right.
And people will be like, well, weren't you doing like whatever? And I'm like, oh, I did
I mean,
that.
I
But like,
guess.
I mean, I'm not like doing anything else.
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
You know what? And it's funny because Will is always like, not part of the podcast, but he's sitting right here. But like, he's the one, like, I will do that too. And you always like try to pump me up, be like, don't say that,
right.
you know? But it's like, it's still it's the go-to. It's the like, it is like the self-preservation thing. It's like, oh man, I don't know if I want to like let you in. Like,
totally.
To, like the world of, I don't know.
No, totally. It's just like, I don't want to deal with this like judgment or like ridicule, which probably won't happen, but I still worry about. Like, it's just like, I can't deal with this.
Yeah.
I'm either, I wasn't sure if this, I'm going to keep talking about this party. This party last night, I wasn't sure if it was going to.
Great test subject.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was going to be like, I wasn't sure what level of party it was, right? Like, I wasn't sure if it was like huge blowout house party, like too many people to like really get stressed, or like halfway like intimate. It ended up being like the perfect amount of people, and I was so happy. But like, it's hard because like, I'm also not going to go up to people at a party and be like, hi, what's your deal?
Oh God, no.
What's up? Like,
never do that.
It's like, I either need like a sea of people where I can just like kind of like sit with people I already know and like not do anything, or I need like a one-on-one thing, because then that's fine. I can like focus on one other person and that'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's like, once it's like, if it's like a brunch and it's like 8 people and I only know one, I'm like, I'm in a panic.
Sounds like a nightmare.
now.
Yeah, that's a nightmare.
Like, it's like full-blown panic for me.
Any like lull in like an 8-person conversation, I want to die in that moment. It's like, okay, shoot me in the field because there's 8 of us, and oh my God.
It's too much. Like, it's just, even with my like close friends, like if we're hanging out, I am very comfortable with just kind of like staying quiet and like being in my own world for like a little while. And then I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. What's like, and they will allow me to do that, and that will be fine.
Right.
But it's like, if it's with people you don't know, you can't be a weirdo, just kind of like
or
contemplating life silently. Like, you can't do it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of close friends, so Erin, who would you put in your top 8 in your life?
I was thinking about this based on my actual MySpace top 8, like from the last time I used MySpace.
Oh wow, which was how many years ago?
I mean, when did I delete? Like, at some point I went in and deleted my MySpace. I took screenshots of everything.
Oh,
and then I was like, delete, like exploded. Like I just like didn't want to see. I was like, I can't have this
not
exist.
me anymore.
Like I can't do this anymore.
No one can find this.
But I was thinking, actually, I feel like maybe like one or two people would be different, but it's basically the same people.
I think that's beautiful.
Which is what's weird.
Yeah. Well, so tell me about, like, growing up with them. Like, is it just, like, one of those things where you're friends in second grade and you stayed friends? Or, like...
No, my best friend is named Anna, and we've known each other. Yes. Aww. She lives in New York, and we've known each other since high school. Since, like, my freshman year of high school, she was in 8th grade.
Yeah.
So it's been a while at this point. And we, like, I just immediately wanted to be friends with her. Like, it was, like, a weird... I had other friends, but, like, middle school was hard for me because, like, I was a human.
Me too.
And, like...
Oh, yeah, middle school's terrible.
Middle school is the worst time of your life. And I was
torture
like...
pretty much every day.
Yeah, I was like, this sucks. I hate it here. So it was kind of like... Going into 9th grade, I was like, okay, one thing that I can change is my...
Something's gotta change.
Friends? Like, I can, like, make new friends. Like, maybe that's... And it wasn't that I had, like, bad friends. I was just like, I can do different things. I can, like, figure out my place.
Right.
Which, obviously, then I ended up, like, finding theater and stuff. Like every nerd.
Hey, you found something. That's all that matters.
I'm like, this is cool. I'll build sets. And Anna and I were in theater together. Aww. And then like we're like, you know, in our minds, like ran the theater department.
Yeah,
like,
guys, you can't even like our emotions run deep.
Like,
ours is so shallow.
Yeah, it's like okay, right. But it was a thing where I met her and then like we hung out at like a forced thing. Like we were forced to go to like a thing together.
That. Yeah.
Literally, like my theater teacher was like, "Oh, you'll like each other." Like Anna's mom like drove us to this like event at like a theater in Albany. I'm from upstate New York, and like we had a good time. And then I was like, I'm obsessed with her. Like I was just, and it was like a weird thing where I was like, I have decided that we are friends. Yeah, and I like didn't know what to do with that information except force her to be my friend. Yeah. So I was just like, well, we're friends now forever. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm really that's so funny. It's our two friends just walked in, but we were saying with Bailey, when you're young, that first like best friend, it's like a love. Yeah. Like, it's a type of like undefinable, like, like my soul and your soul. Yeah. You know?
Totally. And it was just, and it's like, even in high school, I feel like we weren't necessarily, we were hanging out together, but we weren't, I still had other friends in my grade. She had other friends in her grade, but it was one of those things where I was like, well, we're just going to keep in contact forever. And we just did. I mean, it's like she went to BU, I went to NYU, then she eventually moved to New York. Like we have just never stopped being best friends. And it's just like, well, I glommed onto you. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, that's
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Like, I've forced you into this, but like she was specificically in my top 8. Like, I remember her photo in there. So it's like, well, that would never have changed. Yeah. Like,
oh, that's so funny. My like best friend forever. She's 3 years younger than me. And I like held her in the hospital when she was born. Yeah, so like
that's crazy.
The first stage of our friendship was me being like, oh, it's a doll who's like alive. And like because she was so young and I could just suggest anything. She'd be like, okay. And like
that's amazing.
Yeah, so forced friendship. Yeah. Like I get it. Yeah. It's just like you're mine now and we're best friends forever. And sorry.
Like, I'm sorry, I don't know. It was like a weird, creepy like love thing where I remember like distinctly like buying her a gift and like we were not at a place where we should have been exchanging gifts. And I was like, here's a Christmas present. Like,
yeah. I know. I remember making Valentines for not only my best friends, but like the outer circle of friends who probably didn't even like me that much. But I wrote on there like all the positive qualities that I really loved about them, and like God, they must have just talked about me like after I would leave a room and be like, this girl,
like what's happening?
What's happening? But yeah,
no, it's like a thing. this is why I relate to cats as I'm looking at a cat.
Like, Leo. Oh, he's like, he's staring.
Like that's me. That's me in my heart. Like I didn't even grow up with cats, but now I have 2 cats and love cats more than anything.
Yeah.
I still love dogs, but I'm distrustful of people naturally.
Yeah.
So I don't like easily like get close with people, but like once I am close with someone, like then it's like I hate everyone else. Like it's just like you're in and that's fine, and then like everyone else is out.
It's like you have a moat around your little castle, and only a few people get tickets to ride over.
I am a rock, I am an island.
I'm a rock, I'm an island.
And it's like if you're in, then it's fine, but otherwise I'm like, no.
That is such a wonderful quality. Because I think I was very much the opposite.
Yeah.
And it is literally only through therapy and like recently that my therapist has been like, do not let everyone into your life. Some people are terrible. Yeah. And you have to be smarter. And I was like, you're right. I gotta dig a moat. I gotta dig a moat.
Dig a moat. No, it's like I don't know. It's just like a thing. I don't know. It's definitely a self-preservation tactic, because it was also kind of like a thing where like when I was little and started getting like teased, I was like, all right, well, I got to start like blending in more. And like, that's fine. And then I was like, I don't trust anyone. And I think also with like movies I grew up with and stuff, I was always like, is this a trick? Like, I'm not going to be a part of this. It was just kind of like trying to prevent She's All That from happening to me.
Oh,
where I'm just like, don't talk to me. Like, so it does. It just takes me a little while to like make people, like make someone trust me.
Yeah.
Make me trust them. Like, it's just like.
That's true. I feel like a lot of like female-oriented comedies, the odd girl out, the like cool girls are always doing something to like fuck her over, and it's terrible. And if you identify with the weird girl, you're like, oh no, dude, does everyone hate me? Like, and I just don't know it.
Always, it's just like one of my good friends growing up was this girl Lindsay, and she was like in the popular crowd in middle school. Ooh. So I like wasn't like we weren't friends because like I was not in the popular crowd in middle school. Like I was just getting teased on the bus and I had braces and like stuff, and I was just trying to survive. I was like, I'm just trying to make it day to day. Please don't look at me. Like I gotta get home and play Sega. Like I can't do this right now. And in 8th grade, she started like, we had a bunch of classes together because we were both in like honors classes, like leading into high school. And then I was like, she's being nice to me. And then she was like also being nice to like my friend Jacob, who I'd known forever. And I was like, do you think this is a trick? Like Jacob, like what do you think's going? Like I was just always kind of like a little weary, and I was like, I don't know. I feel like this is. But she was obviously just like a normal person. And she was just like, I don't know how I got in the popular crowd. Like I just kind of want to get out. So it was kind of like I helped her. Like we started 9th grade of like her wanting to like leave that, and I was like, well, I need a new friend. And then like we just kind of were like, okay, we can be friends.
That's awesome. I respect her for being like, I want to make a change.
Yeah, like I think it was just kind of like, this doesn't work. I don't know why this happened. This is fine. Like we'll do this. And like then she was just like a dork with me, and I was like, great.
That is so funny. I love that story. And of you being like, there's no
like,
way.
There's a trick. Well, because I had gotten my hair cut really short accidentally in 8th grade.
You would have been like my best friend in middle school. It's
like a whole thing. Well, 8th grade was horrifying for a number of reasons, but one of which was that I started 8th grade by immediately going through puberty. Like literally like started 8th grade. So before 8th grade, I weighed like 95 pounds, maybe like 92 pounds. Yeah. Like I was very small. And then I was like, nothing fits anymore, Mom.
Oh no, my body.
What am I supposed to do? So it's like I had to get all new clothes, and I like didn't know what to wear. And then like I went to like my hairdresser, and I'd had long hair and like huge bangs. Like bangs that started in the middle of my like head.
Love it.
And came down, and I was like, starting in 7th grade, I was like, we have to get rid of these bangs. Hair lady, like help me out. So they were still growing out. And then she was like, let's cut your hair. And I was like, I don't want to go too short. because I got a really round face.
Yeah, you're explaining to the hairdresser about like, your face shape, and
I'm like, I'm 13. I'm very self-conscious. Like, please help me. And like, it got cut really short. It was like up to my chin.
Oh wow!
And I can't pull that off.
Oh no!
I can't do it. You can do it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at your hair and it was about that length.
Yeah.
But I still had like bangs that were like used to be at the big and were like trying to grow.
The bangs growing out. That's a bad.
It's so bad.
It's rough.
And like Lindsay, like when I came in and I had to go to school, like the first day of like suddenly my hair going from like the length it is now to there. She was like, "Oh, I love your hair," and I was like,
"You're a liar."
Okay,
you are a liar. You're a liar, and I know it.
It's the episode of The Simpsons when like Lisa gets cool, like Summer 4 foot 2 inches, where like she's like trying to like revamp and get cool, and then it's like where her internal monologue is scanning for sarcasm. It's clean.
It's clean.
That was me all in that period of time.
Scanning
like
for sarcasm.
I don't know. I don't trust this. I'm like very fun to be friends with.
Well, I mean, it seems like you are, because you stick with your friend. You seem like a very loyal, like you do have a moat, but once you vet your friends, you seem like very like loyal.
Yeah, and I mean, I've kicked people out before.
Oh, ooh.
Like you've had to do that, you know, like, and I
Yeah.
have. And either by happenstance and just sort of like letting things go, or like by making a conscious decision of like, you're not doing a good thing for me. Like this isn't working out for me. Like I have pushed people back out of the moat. But it's very rare.
Go free, go.
Yeah. Escape. Like it's only in extreme circumstances.
Yeah, and it's like you do a good job of like, you observe people. I'm saying all this because of the things that I just learned how to do like recently to potential friends and people. And to me, I look at you as someone who's been doing it your whole life. I'm just like, oh, whoa.
Just like accidentally.
Just, fucking, jeez, you're like years ahead of you.
I was thinking about this recently. I've been like, because I'm freelance, and so it's like I've been like unemployed for like a few weeks at a time, like recently, and then like I'll be working for a week, and then I'll be like unemployed.
Right.
And I realized that like if I just don't contact anyone, I'm fine. I'll just go and live my life, and then I'll be like, okay, I guess it's time to go to bed again. Like, good night, see you tomorrow, nobody. Like, it's just like I'm very like I realize like I'm actually very like self-sufficient, and like I'm not sure that that's the best thing, but like I guess it's good that I like
beautiful
can do it.
Yeah, it's like a part of you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's great.
It's like, this is fine. My cats are here. The TV's here. Like,
but also, I bet your friends like see that in you and value that in you, and that is why you are one of their friends. It's like,
that's
it's
interesting.
not a person who's gonna like suck all my time and energy, who's like a vampire for my emotions. Like, you are self-sufficient.
Yep.
You can just like hang out.
yeah.
Like, that in itself is a great friend quality.
It is. It is like a thing where I'm just like, well, this is fine. Like I have made people that I text, and then it's like if I'm texting someone, then I feel like I'm like part of the world. Like it's okay. Yeah. It is like a thing where like then I'm like, I do sometimes feel like unable to like deal with emotion. Like I don't know how to. Because I feel so guarded. I don't know how to be like, I'm feeling sad right now. Like, that part is hard for me. Like, that is like, because also my impulse, even with my closest friends, is to make fun of the situation and just be like, and just do that joke thing that everyone does. Like, and that's like my, So it's like, it helps those friends, which I do have, like, that actually like tell you like, no, like are you okay?
Yeah, no, like that was a funny joke, Erin. But
no,
also,
let's actually talk about this. And then I'm like, well, now I'm just crying. So did you want this?
Do you want to see me cry? Think you're no longer in my top eight.
It's like fine.
Well, with friends like in New York and like, you know, do you get to see them a lot? Do you like feel that distance, or is it just kind of like, oh, like we're apart, but you know,
Man,
Whatever.
my very best friend, Anna, we text constantly. And we also have location sharing on with each other permanently.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
So I'm just constantly like, oh, I wonder where Anna is. Like, looking at her.
That is so cool. I didn't even know you could do that. Whoa.
You can just share indefinitely. It just doesn't turn up.
I'm gonna do that tonight with Molly. I'm gonna be like, forever, I'm gonna know where you are.
I know. It's also like, I think we set it up like, pretend, like, under the guise of it being like, in case you're somewhere weird or we think you're being murdered.
Right.
But
also just like, oh, cool, you're at work.
Yeah, it's just
No.
like, oh, cute. But it was really helpful when I was like visiting New York for work for like 10 days. And I had a few days that I was kind of like just working from home on my own. And so then I was wandering around and then she was like, wait, is your location right? Come meet me. I'm like right next to you. And then like we would just like, we met up. And then I was like, oh, it'd be so great if I still lived in New York right now. So he'd be like, oh, are you on this block with me randomly? Like, great.
Oh, hello. Oh, hi. Oh,
Yeah, like,
oh,
hey.
I do like the distance thing is weird. And I realize I don't. So I have two best high school friends. And one of them was living in DC, and the other one was living in North Carolina. And now they're all
It's far.
Yeah, it's far. And yeah, I don't think I was very good at like keeping in touch because I was just always worried that like something would change or not feel the same. And like, I kind of let that anxiety, not like, I let it be like, oh.
It's like, I don't have a lot of friends that I keep in touch with from high school still. But then it's like, Anna I'm in constant contact with, and then I have like 3 other friends who like, you know, I went to 2 of their weddings, and then like we'll sometimes like contact each other. But it's a thing with them where like they don't use social media the way I do.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm always like, you know? So I'm always like, well, here's everything I'm doing. Like just throwing it all at the world.
I don't know.
And then like they won't post for years and years. And I'll be like, so what are you guys up to? Like, what's going on?
Hey guys,
Like my friend Lindsay just had a baby and she lives in Chile.
Oh, wow.
Like, and I was like, I literally had to ask our mutual friend Jacob, like, I was like, what country does Lindsay live in again? I can't remember. And she's like, Chile. And I was like, right.
It was in that area. It was either that or Argentina. And I'm sorry.
It was like, she's in South America. What the fuck country is it? Like, I just couldn't. It just couldn't. And it's stupid because I've met her husband. I'm aware that he's Chilean. I just was like, where could they live? Like, I can't remember. Like, but like, she texted me and then was like, sorry, I meant to like send an announcement, but like blah blah. And I was like, Lindsay, I didn't even know you were pregnant. Like, this is amazing. Like, this is great. And I was like, when was he born? And she was like, April. And I was like, great. Well, happy 6 months soon. Like,
happy baby who can probably crawl now, I guess.
I'm like, talk? I don't remember.
Can they talk? It's like, I don't know.
No, so it's just like, it's a funny thing, but it's like, that doesn't, we do have a friendship where it's like, that's okay. Like, it's okay that happened and it's fine. And like, I will always love her. Like, it's not.
Right.
We're not in constant contact. I barely remember what country she lives in, but like she can text me and be like, here's my baby. And I'll be like, great. Yeah, the love is still there, you know, which I like. And that works out for me because sometimes I'm very lazy. So I'm like, well, this is good.
Well, like, there's a safety net of like forgiveness in a way, forgiveness and understanding.
Yes.
That's like, we don't have to talk every day.
Yeah.
Like, we know that where we are in each other's
lives. Right.
Yeah.
It's like, you're there. We don't know everything about each other. That's fine. Like, this is fine. We can like do this, you know? But it's like when I have that happen with someone, that was what my post was about, really. It's like when I have that happen with people who live in LA with me, but like we just haven't like met up and stuff. Like, then I'm like, oh, this makes me so sad, but it's so nice when we see each other.
Yeah. That is the other thing. Yeah, there's just like, I feel like I have a list of people that I've been meaning to get coffee with.
Yeah.
And that list never gets shorter.
No.
And like, whenever it is really fun, it's like, oh, well, I want to do this again. But I also have this whole list of other people that I said I would hang out with.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
I also, it's like I have a thing. One of the people who I saw in that post is my friend Misha, who I've known since freshman year of college, and we've had numerous conversations like over the years where we're like, we sort of accidentally like stayed very close, as well, like, and like we've had conversations over the years where we're just like, we're just gonna be friends until we die, probably. Like, we're probably just gonna know each other until we die, so like it's fine. Like, we'll just deal with this.
Yeah.
But I hadn't seen her in a while, and it's like partly because like she's actually like, it's like one of those weird LA things where she's actually successful and actually like very busy and actually doing like a lot of stuff. So then when it's not fake LA busy, I'm like, well, I don't want to bother you.
Yeah, like you really are actually working. Yeah, fake. Yeah, there is like the total like fake LA busy, and then there's like people who are actually like employed, like doing their job.
I'm like, no, you're like have like a really big job.
Yeah.
Like you're good. Like you're very busy. Like, hi, are you free? Like I'm not working right now. Like she was like, no, I'm working, but
yeah. But you tell me when you're free. You're free all the time, pretty much all the time.
Yeah, I mean that's what I did. I was like, well, I'm unemployed. So, like, just tell me a day.
Yeah.
I'm probably free.
I'll show up.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Like, it's fine. So it's like that thing, too, where I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah.
No, fake LA. LA is hard. LA is like...
It's hard, man.
And it's very different...
Do it.
Like,
Say
controversial opinion, but it's very different from New York. Like,
ding, 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 ding.
But it is. It's like everything feels different, and that's fine. And I do now appreciate LA, but it is very different from New York, and like just kind of like some of the ease that I had of like hanging out with friends and just seeing people and stuff like that you don't have in LA, where it's like literally like knowing people who refuse to like drive to you.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
And
yeah,
I'm like,
it's like,
what?
Oh, okay. It's not me. It's not personal. It's not me. It's not personal. It's not me. It's not personal.
Like it's weird. That's why I still have this like new to LA vibe, even though I've been here since 2012. Like of like, I'll go wherever. Like, yes, I'm very far east, but like wherever's convenient for you. Like, it's fine. Like, I'm gonna complain about it when it's happening, but it's fine.
Right. And like, I'll bite the traffic, but whatever. Yeah.
Because I want to be available. It's weird when people are like, well, I don't want to go that far. So I'm like, okay.
It is that. I feel like that happens a lot. Even like one of my best friends I hear, and I love her to death. Like, I love her. Like a lot of the time she'd be like, because she lives in Koreatown, and I don't want to drive there because there's no parking, and she doesn't want to drive here because she's already high, which I respect the fuck out of. And
that's
like,
fair.
That's fair. But we do make time for each other.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of times that like we could be hanging out that we're just not.
Totally.
And it's because before LA I was in Chicago, and that was another like. So much like public transportation, like this and that, like everyone just hanging out. It was chill. Like you didn't have to like be anything or do anything or say anything. You need to be fine.
Yeah, it's just a whole thing. And then it's just kind of like, I hate that feeling of competition constantly because I'm not going to participate in it. So it's like I just end up in situations where people are just bragging at me.
Yeah,
and I'm just
you don't
like,
want to reciprocate. So it's like,
okay,
I guess I'll be the soundboard for
it's like,
your brilliant idea.
Congrats, like cool. I don't care. Like it's just like. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I just don't know what else to do. And I'm just like, well, this isn't how I conduct my friendships, but fine. Like,
I love this. Well, this isn't how I conduct my friendships.
Okay. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just, it's hard to not be like, it's hard to not feel like, oh, everyone wants something. Like, it's hard not to feel that way.
Yeah.
And I don't think that I ever felt that way in New York.
Yeah.
So it's like
I never felt that way in Chicago.
No. So I think that's like the main thing that's weird to me in friendships because there is the facade of like, oh my God, we should hang out.
Yeah.
This is so great. But it's like, do you really want to? I feel like you don't.
Yeah, I feel like I think you are. Feel like you're just saying that.
Yeah. I never, as a result of having known my husband for almost 14 years, I haven't gone through a thing of like dating.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like it's been a long
as
time
an adult,
for me too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
especially when we're 14.
Yeah. And the closest thing I have is like making friends. Yeah. So it is like, I'm like, oh, is this what dates feel like? When I like go and get a coffee with someone, I'm like, we're not on the same page. Like, we're not. And then it's like, it is a weird thing where I've definitely had that experience where someone's like, we should hang out more. And I'm like, I hope that this is an LA thing. Like, I don't want to actually hang out again. Yeah. Like, I feel like we didn't get along. And I'm always like, sure.
Anytime. Yeah. It's very funny because just going off the like vetting friends and stuff, I've always dated awesome people and like I've never had a bad experience dating. And like I've had bad experiences with friends and I've realized it's because, you're taught to be like, oh, you want to date me? Okay. Yes. Like, prove it. Like, pass all these invisible tests that I will set up.
Yes, absolutely.
But with friends, it's just like, okay.
Like, we're friends.
We're friends.
Yeah.
But it should be more like dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is. And I think that's kind of like the thing about like toxic people. Like they can be your friends too. Like it can be people who are just your casual friends as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's more important to like get out of it. Not more, but
But it's like,
it's important to get out of your life.
Yeah. You can really let that slide under the radar because they can do one nice thing and that's the thing you'll remember. Yep. And you won't remember you did all these other bad things that you just kind of excuse because you're like, oh, but they're my friend, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not my friend.
Yeah. And like as years go by and stuff too, you're just like, well, I mean, you're just like part of this, I guess. Like, like we're just part of this thing called friendship. Like, I guess this is just what's happening. It's like very hard. And it's hard for people to like your friends will encourage you to get out of a relationship that isn't working, probably.
Yeah,
but your friends probably won't recommend that you get out of a friendship that isn't working,
right. Like yeah, that's just not early, especially like girlfriends. We never talk to each other and be like, oh, don't be friends with them.
Yes.
Because it feels wrong.
Yeah.
And like
But it is, I mean, it's a thing. Actually, well, I mean, this is, oh God.
Get into it.
I was listening to the audiobook of Shonda Rhimes' book, The Year of Yes. Yeah. And she actually was talking about this, like her core people, and obviously she has a different situation because she's like famous and rich and stuff, which like, I mean, I'm so, with my moat system, I'm like so ready to be like, like super wealthy. Like I'm like, I wouldn't let anyone in. I'd be like, get the fuck away from me. Like, I'm like so ready to be like,
you're primed.
I'm suddenly Gwyneth Paltrow. Like I would like be like, no one is getting in here. Cut to like something weird happens and then it's like I get like
she's alone.
I get like scammed by someone. Like the little money that I have like goes away.
No.
I'm like, oh, how did I fall for it?
I planned everything. I had a moat.
But Shonda Rhimes was talking about how like her close group of friends like did that to her with like a friend of hers who was like just not being like right and like had to tell her like no, like this is weird. And I was like, that's great. That's like wonderful that they did that.
Great. You know what? I'm gonna go on a limb and say, take care of your girlfriends. Yeah. They might be friends with someone that just isn't great. Yeah. And we make a lot of excuses for people that we have in our lives and like especially friends because and especially I feel like females are taught to like value their friendship into a very high degree. Yeah. And it's hard to recognize that someone may not have your best interests.
Yeah, and I think it can happen in lots of different ways. So I think it's like a weird thing where it's like, well, do you really want to go through like the hassle of like stopping being friends with someone just because of this? But it's like maybe you should. Like maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah. And I've also just been like it's nothing on them. Yeah. Like they, if it just doesn't fit, it just doesn't fit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That should be okay.
I know. It should be like dating. Like, it should be like dating. It should be like, well, this isn't working out. Not that I think that probably breaking up with people is easy, but like,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
Like, no, this isn't working.
Yeah. And it really isn't about, like, number of friends.
No.
Which is something that we hear all the time. But, like, you know, it really isn't. It's about, like, quality and who's gonna, like, make your life funner, better, lighter, brighter.
I will say too, like, which I think is a benefit of getting older, just being an older person now. Like, I find myself less like in that like FOMO situation, like than I used to be. Like, I can now kind of like very confidently like be at home, choosing to be home, and look at people having fun and be like, great, like God bless, like have a good time.
I've got Twizzlers.
Yeah, like I'm having a great time here, so whatever you want to do, man. Like, cool. Like, it's like very few situations that I would be like, oh no. Why is that happening? Like, I'm also like, cool, like, have fun.
Yeah. Well, being friends with, like, your, you know, husband, significant other, like, does it feel like a type of friendship or, like...
Yeah, we definitely have... I would never say, like, I married my best friend. Like, I would literally never say that. But we are friends. Like, we have a friendship. Like, because we have a lot of, like, similar interests, which is, like, what made us, like, hang out in the first place and stuff. So we like, I mean, I like seeing movies alone and I like seeing movies with him, and that's basically it. Like, I will sometimes go to movies with like my other friends and stuff, but like I mostly like, I like seeing movies alone in the theater or with him. It's like, those are my options.
That's a beautiful friendship. Just like alone or with you. And like, that's it.
Like, that's all. Because I would normally say, like, I prefer to see movies alone, but, like, I actually like seeing but, like, going to the movie theater by myself is just great.
I love going to concerts alone. It's
I've never been to a concert alone. That's so interesting.
I love it. It's just, like, it's just about you, the music. You're, like, are not beholden to anyone.
Yeah.
You can just, like, sing along and, like, not have to give your energy to someone else.
That does sound fun.
I love it. Yeah. My first year out here, I moved almost like right before my birthday. And I didn't know anyone. So I was like, for my birthday, I'm just gonna get drunk and go to a concert by myself.
Amazing.
It was great.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah. I like could see that being like really good, actually.
Yeah, it's similar to movies though.
Yeah.
The other thing I would do when I had no friends in LA was walk to the ArcLight and just see movies at midnight by myself.
It's great. Oh God, it's so good. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, we, my husband and I definitely do have a friendship though. Like where it's just like, we're now, I mean, we're so like twined. Like we're like, just a rat king at this point. But like, it's like that's the only way to describe our lives. Which, like, I think that's fine.
That's fine. I love, that's the best, like, like, everything is just, it's just like
everything's
we're
the
just
same.
Teammates,
I don't
we'll
know.
both walk this way. I'll walk with my feet, you walk with your butt because we're connected, and then we'll go get dinner.
It's just in a permanent three-legged race is kind of how I view it. Like, I'm like, well, you're just stuck with me. I don't know. Like,
that's so
this
funny.
is fine. But, like, we sort of realized that too because he wasn't working at the same time I wasn't working, and we were just spending all of our hours together. And I was like, okay, I like definitely reached points where I was like, I need some alone time, which is a thing that I've realized that I do require sometimes. Like I do need space to like be by myself. Yeah. But otherwise, like we're just like hanging out, doing everything together. We're like, well, this is great. I mean, like, whatever. Like
that's like. Zero drama is like should be the goal for any relationship. Yeah, I feel like,
and I think friendship too. Like just any interpersonal relationship, like as little stress
as possible. Yeah,
like as little toxicity and as little stress
as minimum as possible.
Yeah. I don't know.
Were you guys friends before you started? Like dating?
We pretty much like immediately we met in our study abroad program in Dublin.
Oh, cool.
In college. So it was like a very small program through NYU, like just 25 kids. Aww. And there were only 5 dudes. And like we just like started talking, like started hanging out, and then it was just like we just immediately like started like sort of dating or whatever.
Ooh.
Like it was just like an instant, like we were just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And like we had a lot of like, well, we're just dating here, like not when we get back to New York. But then like
I love that though. I love that.
But then we were like, well, this is stupid. Like it was literally like it was the fall semester, and we were like, yeah, I mean, probably we just date here and like not in New York. And then like over Christmas break, like I was like, do you want to come visit? Like,
hey, do you want to come meet all my family?
Want to come stay with my family like over Christmas break casually? Like, which like now looking back on it, I was like, that was weird. Like, that was like a really, we like knew each other like 4 months, and I was like, come stay here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It was sort of a similar thing with my best friend where we were just like, oh, okay, well, I guess we're just like.
Well, here, you know what? I want to go on a limb and say, you know, you do value your alone time, and I think that's awesome. And I think you know yourself, like, pretty well. So when you see someone, I feel like you do kind of know. Like, you instantly connect with them because, you know yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that is it. That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah.
I always take it as like I just make snap decisions. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, this is fun. Like that's how we planned our wedding. Like I was like, yeah, and this one. Like we were just like,
you're an
Blammo.
amazing woman. I mean, just thinking about how many other women like stress about like the color of like the flower petal. Like
I'm just like I'm a Virgo, so I'm very organized, but like I'm like. I know what I want.
Yeah.
Also, so I'm just like, nope, this one.
It's so funny because when you said that, I just pictured your closet, which is extremely organized but very like specific. And I was like, that's your closet. It's organized, but you know exactly what you want.
Exactly. It's like my thing is always like it may not look organized on the outside, but it is to me. Like everything makes sense to me. So I'm like, well,
you're like a mad scientist. Like it makes sense to me. Okay?
Just with clothes organization. Like just with that.
All right. So now that we have talked about friendship, let's kill each other over which of best friends is better. Yeah.
I love it.
That's right. No. Okay. So the pair that I am picking this week, it's from one of my favorite book series, a series of unfortunate events. It really spoke to my like young emo soul. My young emo days. But I always really loved Violet and Klaus Baudelaire. Because they were brother and sister, and I have an older brother, and we were always very close. Like we never fought growing up.
Yeah.
Or hardly, you know, like we would throw Ninja Turtles at each other, but like who didn't? But for the most part, like we were great friends. He like taught me how to play video games, and like he's great. We're still very close. But yeah, Violet and Klaus are like they're always there for each other. They're both little like Poindexters. But they listen to each other so well. Like Klaus, like he'll go research something like for Violet. Violet will like invent something like for Klaus. Yeah, and they take care of each other. And the book does a good job of showing like loving, emotional. Yeah. Like they hug, they that, which. Yeah, like, I think the default is for writers to be like, brother, sister, gross.
Yeah, I can't think of, like, many, like, sibling, like, brother-sister specifically, like, relationships that I feel like I relate to, really. I have a younger brother, and that's it, and it's just us, and I'm always, like, whenever it's, like, sibling day or whatever on Instagram, I'm always like, I would murder someone for him. Like, I just am like, I'm just like so
0 to 10.
Like 10. It's just always like, I'm like, no, I love my brother so much. Like, I would kill you for, like, over him. Like, if you hurt him, I would kill you. Like, and it's like, it is that, like, intense thing where I'm just like, no. I think also because, like, our parents got, like, divorced, like, when we were both adults. And so we were both, like, dealing with that together, and I think we were always close, but I think we then like clung to each other like even more because we're like, okay, well, we're a team now, like we're in this together.
We're the we're a family.
Yeah, so, like, we gotta keep this going. Like so I like that. I like the idea of, because also when I wasn't doing stuff Like, with my friends, like, growing up, it's because I was hanging out with my brother.
Yeah, that's like, and looking back, like, I spent a lot of time alone doing crafts because I didn't need another person to do crafts.
Yeah.
And then I would be with my brother because we loved each other. It was fun to hang out and, like, do stuff together.
We would just sit around all weekend. We would literally watch Star Wars just on a loop. Yeah. Or we would like watch any number of other movies that we like loved.
Or like Pokemon, Digimon, the whole like Saturday lineup. Yeah.
We just like played Sega constantly. Like we would just play Sonic the Hedgehog like all day.
It was my Sonic is somewhere.
I love Sonic so much. Here we go. Yes.
My brother got me this actually.
Amazing. Yeah.
A little plush Sonic.
He's so cute.
From my brother.
My brother had a plush Sonic growing up too. He was like bigger. It was like taller.
Oh, okay. All right.
It was like from the 90s. No, like we just would hang out. Like, and I didn't realize, I don't know, like we just always, I like that. I like that as a friendship because like we do also have a friendship. Like we do just like have a friendship as well.
We said this when we weren't recording, but Erin and I both said that like when oh wait, I'm talking about something else. Cut to, okay, why don't you go and then I'll bring it up. Why don't you go, Erin?
Cut
to you.
Well, my friendship is from 30 Rock, which is one of my favorite things in the world. And it's Liz and Jack's friendship. So they make jokes. It starts out as like she is being like mentored by him. Like she's kind of like needs guidance and stuff and like is being mentored by Jack and like they're both like messed up is what I like, but like they both can also help each other, like, and they do really help each other. Like they still get in fights and they still like do shitty things to each other, but like they ultimately like did form this bond and like really like have like a very sweet like nice relationship. And I like also in the show that they like make fun of the idea of like them having to get together. Like they bring up like constantly like, no, we're not gonna, you know, like they have like fake outs where they're like pretending to be together and then they're like, ew, gross. Like and I like that. Like I do. All of my friends when I was like very little were boys. Like just by happenstance, like the kid who lived next door was a boy, and then like we moved somewhere else and there was a boy, and I was like, fine. Yeah. And like I always had like male friends until I was like 5, and then I started having girlfriends because we were both upset. My friend Mallory and I would try to play Ninja Turtles with the boys, and they told us we couldn't be any of the turtles. We had to be 2 April O'Neils who were best friends.
Kill the patriarchy.
I got so mad about it that I was just like, we're playing Ninja Turtles alone.
I would cry. I was like, if I can't be Mikey, I'm not living. Like
literally all I wanted was to be Raphael, and I was like,
yeah, Raphael's the best.
This is insane. Like this is a travesty. And so like I made her like play it alone with me. I was like, we're not going to be 2 Aprils who are best friends. This is bullshit.
Yeah. 2 Aprils who are best friends. You
give me 2 Aprils.
Yeah.
Like I was just so angry. And that's when I learned to love female friendship.
That's so,
It was in kindergarten. We had to fight the patriarchy together.
That's so funny.
But like, so I do like something about like an actual male-female friendship that does not become, oh no, we're in love with each other.
Right.
Because that does happen all the time. And I like those stories too, but it's like, I do like just like a strictly like platonic, like, no, we're just like very good friends. We like love each other in a very real way. Yeah. You know, and that's how the series ends too. It ends with him telling her that he loves her and like, and it's just as friends. And I think that's nice.
Yeah. What I was going to say earlier that I was like, oh no, shut up, Maggie, that's not at all what we're talking about. I was gonna say that, you know, we were saying off screen how it's so refreshing, like when any sort of media honors that like female male friendship. Because all my best friends from college are guys. It's like a group of like 5 of us, and we're best friends, and I love them to death. And it's like, oh, it's a real like love. Like we hug, we like, you know, it's every level of emotion that I have with other friendships. And it's always refreshing to like see it and be like, yes.
Yeah. It's just nice.
Yeah.
Also, also, I just am constantly watching 30 Rock. Just over and over. It's just always on a loop.
Man, it's really funny. I always, like, introduce this segment as, like, we're gonna fight about it. And, like, we always agree on the, like, people that we choose.
I know, it was like, there would have to be, you would have to really make a bad pick for me to be like, no. Gross.
Well, we were saying Ron and Harry are awful friends.
They're not good friends.
They're not good friends.
They're just straight up, they're not good for each other.
No, they bring each other down.
Yeah, they bring each other down.
And it's kind of sad. Like,
I know.
The older I get, it's like, oh, man.
Hermione and Harry are good friends.
Yeah, they're good friends. They're
good
actually
friends.
there for each other.
Yeah. Another example of a male-female friendship.
Yeah. Oh, they're great.
You know? Mm-hmm. But yeah, Ron and Harry shouldn't be friends.
No.
They're bad for each other.
Bad for each other. So yeah, if you would have picked them.
Yeah,
I would've been
like, right.
Get out.
Like, no.
Take my small Sonic and get out of here.
Your lame Sonic.
Lame Sonic plush. Well, Erin, thank you so much for coming over and
thank you for having me.
Hanging out with me, just dishing in about a frenzies. But you are lovely. I love following you on everything and watching everything you do. Where can other people find you?
I exist everywhere at Erin Mallory Long.
You exist everywhere?
Yep, everywhere.
Are you God?
Yeah.
Knew he was a woman. And I knew he was
everywhere. No, because I find that I always say, I'm everywhere at Erin Mallory Long. And then it's like, I have to stop saying it.
Sounds like I'm egotistical.
Yeah, I'm like, I gotta find a different way to say that.
Well, I specifically love your Instagram. I don't even like
Thank
Instagram
you.
that much, but like you're so good at like taking beautiful shots that are like fun and like they perk up my day.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I really I just decided that this was going to be my thing and it makes me so happy. It's just like
it makes
a simple
happy.
thing.
Yeah, and like you always like, and I love just like watching other people that are good at like designing things, and I think like the photos you take just seem so like well like designed and like the lines. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm like not an art major, but like they perks up my feed. So
thank you.
Here you go, guys. Follow Erin. She's great. Thanks for listening to My Top 8. I'm your host, Maggie Mae Fish. If you like what you heard and you want to help me bring you more, head over to patreon.com/Maggie Mae Fish, where you can support the show. And check out patreon.com/smallbeans, where you can support my wonderful friends who help make this show possible. Find me on Twitter at Maggie Mae Fish, and let me know your thoughts on friendship. Until next time, goodbye, friends.